This week on the UBF podcast, we talk about the massive semi-finals that we've just had. Auckland's win, Melbourne City's win. On top of that, the huge Central Coast Mariners win in the grand final that we were lucky to be there for.
Abs going abroad, we've got Crystal Palace's massive win over Man City, groundbreaking, which we are looking forward to. Onto the show.
Hello and welcome back to the UBF podcast. I'm Abs.
And I'm, as per usual, Thomas. Abs,
You sure?
I am. Any jet lag, any sickness?
Thought we left Thomas in Melbourne. This is Thomas Love.
It's actually Thomas Love.
From-
who is still first in the EFL Fantasy League. We haven't forgotten about that.
Is he from Shibanek?
Shiba Nick.
Shibanik.
He's a good friend of mine, Abdul. And he's currently leading the FPL Abs. I don't think we haven't forgotten about that, fans. Still massive prices with our sponsor, Lightweight Athletic Club, and use code UBF15 for 15% off all your purchases. Did I get that right, Abdul?
Finally, about 38 weeks.
I think it's just a clap. Up the lightweight, up Mr.
Mr. Who?
Thomas Lavgacic, the GOAT.
Mate,
Can't believe it.
Thomas Love doesn't sleep at night. He just
does.
works on trades for FPL. I'm telling you.
does.
Well, just a reminder for those who win the FPL competition that we've put together at the start of the year, first place gets a jersey of their choice. Plus, I believe it's 10 items at the Lightweight Athletic Club of their choice. Thank you to Mr. Crenady for all your hard work.
Hard work, dedication.
And I'm sure Mr. Gacic would appreciate the 10 items that he's going to select from the Lightweight Athletic Club
Tommy,
when he wins it.
just remember the roots.
Right. Second place, I believe, wins, I think, 5 or 6 items.
8 and then 6.
8 and then 6. And then I think there's a gift card included in both of them. So, very windy here today.
Thomas Love's happy.
Yeah, I think we can feel his excitement. There's a bit of wind around the studio, so we're feeling it through the roof. But it's actually, hold on, not just any studio. It's the LAC studios as well, mate. Coming very soon. But yeah, look, it's been a massive, massive, massive week in football.
Massive.
I think we experienced probably the greatest moment we've had on this podcast.
It's up there.
It's up there.
Take us through it, Abs.
So I had the lovely pleasure of boarding a flight at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. Flew down to Melbourne, got there at about 7:40. Bear in mind, I didn't sleep.
He's not a morning person, guys.
I'm so not a morning person.
I'm not a
I'm
morning
far from it. But yeah, got on the flight, got there at about 7:40. I stayed up. I didn't go to sleep because I knew if I went to sleep at 1 a.m. and woke up at 4, that was not happening. So got there,
The flight.
got to the airport, landed at about 7:40. Think we got the Uber to Docklands. There's a shopping centre there. Went in first thing, got a haircut, grabbed a coffee, and then I just crashed. I was there with
After you had a coffee.
I was there with our good friend Nick. I hadn't slept, so I told him, just, can you guard me for like an hour? I napped at the shopping centre. There was nowhere else to go, Tom. Found a nice quiet spot in there, just took a slight nap.
Was that one of the low moments of the life, Abdul?
No, actually. There's nothing wrong with sleeping. Sometimes if you
Never
need
said
to
there
sleep,
was.
you need to sleep. You know,
Never
it
said there
doesn't
was.
have to be a bed, doesn't have to be a couch. Could be anywhere. You know, having a bed is a luxury at the end of the day.
So you slept on the floor of Docklands.
No, it was like a nice little bench on the side. It was actually freezing
lay
cold.
down?
I laid down. I rolled up my jacket like a pillow, put it there, put my head down. Now, it wasn't the most satisfying sleep, but it done the job. Onto the onto the rest of the day.
Moving on throughout the day, yeah.
I had the pleasure of watching the Western Bulldogs live as well on Saturday. I had the choice of either that or the victory game. No, you're going to kill me for not going to the victory game. But I think as UBF, we've done a whole lot in these last 2 months. I think we finally took one for ourselves. You know,
If I was there, I wouldn't have went.
I know, but I'm
looking at my camera, not you.
I've been a Western Bulldogs fan for 17 years now, and this is the first time I got to watch my team live. And my favourite player has been my favourite player since we drafted him 11 years ago. Marcus Bontempelli was there. I just wanted a photo with a Bont. But anyway, that's besides the point. Sunday was the big day. Thomas flew in the morning, you know, as the good man that he is. Landed straight from the airport, went and done his prayers. Straight
Straight
from
to church, Nicholas. Straight to church.
Maybe that's why they won.
Did I pray for the Mariners? I don't know.
I hope you did.
Maybe I pray for you, Abdul,
Did you pray for the Mariners?
and for the UBF podcast.
Did you pray that we had a good day at the game?
I pray that we had a safe day, Abdul.
It's Melbourne, not. Anyway, we got to the game, Tom. Big shout out to the Central Coast Mariners. Big shout out to Will from the Mariners.
Big shout out to all the staff.
Big shout out to all the staff, from the coaching staff to the players to even the fans over there.
Yep.
You know, we love every time we go out at games now.
Mariners are a top team.
They are, man.
I like it.
We are. Look, a lot of people criticise us sometimes for being around different
some
teams.
people. Not all people.
Yeah. I think there's a good bunch of people that will criticize us for going around to different teams, and at the end of the day, we're lovers of the game.
Don't listen to the haters song.
No, we're lovers of the game, and we've known Taylor for a really good 5 months or so
5, 6
now,
months.
properly, and like we've obviously followed a journey at Sydney, but yesterday felt like we'd been on a journey all season with the girls, and you know they got the win, and it was just like I felt like,
I don't think there's any better way to start the show than going on to that moment. Talk to me your excitement when Izzy Gomez comes out of the halftime break, ready out of the races, straight away, grabs the goal within 90 seconds. Thoughts? They deserved it.
over the moon. I think it's the fight. I'm sorry, but we've seen Victory do it all the time. We've seen City, dominate this year. Even Sydney. Sydney's one of the last 2 years. But the grit, the determination, the overcoming of that many injuries they've had this year. And for me, I love Jeff, but him and M Husband for me are like the prototype for women's football managers. You manage the person before you manage the player.
Correct.
And whether people that support men's football like it or not, that's how the women's game is. You've got to take into account the person as well as you do the player, because there's a lot more emotion in the game. There's a lot more, it's a different game, and this is where people like to go copy paste. It's not. And M Husband's just shown us that, and I believe she's only the 4th female manager to do it. It's an absolute honour. It was an honour, and to be able to be there and cover what we covered, and don't want to make it about ourselves, but for a podcast I started 18 months ago, waiting outside Gate F at Wanderers games to interview Brendan Burrow and Jorrit Hendricks, to, as you said on the post the other day, to basically be covering the biggest day of the year in women's football
With the brother.
with the brother himself.
And obviously our backroom staff, we've got Jules, the GOAT.
Yeah.
All One Sports, our Strongy as well. It's a pleasure.
We've had some people come, some people go around us as well, and listen, it's that who makes us at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Hard work, determination, and the support, and we can't go anywhere without that.
And I think the Mariners embodied that abs for 120 minutes, because you're looking at that first 15, you look at the context, Victory at home.
No.
6,000, 5,000 of their, probably 6,000 of their fans. Mariners probably just had about 800, 900.
Yeah.
Still a great turnout.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting, we had a chat. I'm going, fuck, ride the first wave, girls, Mariners, ride the first wave, and then settle in. Wasn't the case. They came out the first 15, had them. Second 15, had them.
Yeah.
Third 15, had them. When that goal went in for the Mariners, I don't blame them. My only criticism would have been was, I know you pressed well. I know you tried to get them early. But I think maybe they ran out of legs, or they naturally resorted to protecting something that they had. That's a human instinct, Abs. I get that.
Yeah.
But as soon as that 50th minute passed, I think Victory came knocking. They came knocking hard. What's the keeper's name, Mariners? Escapes me.
Sarah Langman, I believe.
Langman. Top keeper.
Yeah.
Top. Sarah saved them a couple of times. But eventually it was going to go in, and it did. And from that moment on, even in extra time, I think admitted as well, Victory looked the better side. But credit to Mariners, man. Seriously, the way they came out on their turf, on their home, and basically just said, Victory, if you want it, you're going to have to match us.
Yeah. Look, even with it comes down to quality. Not saying that the Mariners don't have quality, but the depth that Victory had and the depth and quality that they had, that was always going to happen.
Gilnick scared me. When she came on, but extra time was hers.
Yeah. Well, look, she did, to our deception, she did start.
Did she? She disappeared.
It says it here. We were there. We were actually there, but I'll be honest.
we
did
were
not-
there.
No, Tom. We didn't notice her till like the 75th
Yeah,
minute.
I think she disappeared. I think she went quiet, and then she came alive. It looked like she came off the bench.
Yeah, but it's a big credit to either side because she played a lot of her game down the left, and it's a massive credit to Martin at left back, and they were immense. And like you said it right, they ran out of legs. Taylor Ray hasn't been 100% for
She
weeks.
got one leg.
She killed it. She played in midfield. She killed it. And like you look at Brooke Nunn as well, ran herself into the ground. Like there are so many things that game that, Annalise Rasmussen,
I've never.
she could have won it in the 118th minute.
Yeah.
Could have won it. Like, but we're gonna forgive her for that one. But
We can forgive her for that one. It's done. It's finished.
but the way she just ran herself into the ground, they played for one another, and it was a cat and mouse game. Tom,
One last push, Salam, as the girl was quoted.
one last push. Taylor's still going for that one last push, but no, big credit to him. And
Nice.
man, it was like, I'm a Sydney fan, but I haven't felt that much happiness and joy.
No, I was so glad. Seriously, I really was.
Like even when you think about it, some of the personalities in that team. Every time I go up to Bianca Galic now, Kakusi, like I'm not even Croatian, but I just go up.
I think I speak better Crow than me.
She said herself, she's learning. But, she's a captain without the armband. She led with the armband for a lot of this season.
Yep.
But Taryn King, and I want to focus on Taryn King.
Wow. To come back,
Colossus. Yeah.
I can safely say, without that partnership and without
Yeah, Langman. Yeah.
over, finished.
Look, because between her, Nash had been out for a bit. I think she's had her own injury problems recently. And then obviously Taylor Ray stepping into midfield. I think a big one was Sarah Rowe as well. Like with Sarah, she was an absolute, weapon when it came down to that right flank. Because,
What they built, Potter?
dude, that's due to Em Husband. Em Husband spent the last 24 months building this team. And like I said, I don't know her personally. I've met her a few times, but
Great character.
there's some people you just meet and you're like, I want you to succeed. I genuinely, like I said, it's you got
It's a person above anything. I want to take you to a girl that, for me, wasn't really known up until last year. Really started to make a name for herself. Got her first call up to the squad. Izzy Gomez. Although I look at players certainly, and I like these players that assert themselves. Not saying she's not technical at all, by no means.
Yeah.
She's got more technique than three of me combined. But I like these players that are not as technical, not as fast, not really prowess in shooting, but that are players that win the ball and fight so hard that they're practically vomiting when they come off.
Yeah.
That woman there, the amount of time she dispossessed Victory was incredible. The amount of time she dispossessed City in both legs, incredible. Unbelievable. She's a ball-winning midfielder.
Yeah.
She's not a six that likes to intercept abs.
Yeah.
But the way she gets out, the way she asserts herself when she needs to. Credit to her. I don't think there's a better woman on that park. I'll be honest with you. And cool and calm and composed to get the goal.
Yeah.
But seriously, she deserves every single plaudit that she gets.
100%. And another one's Brooke Nunn. Man,
What a passion she has.
She is like, if Passion Merchant was a person, and this is in a positive manner,
Passion's personified.
she plays with her heart. Like, dude, it's such a. I go back and I say we started covering the women's game 3 months into doing this into the podcast.
Yep.
I think I don't regret one bit because I think as much as let's just say anyone outside of the Wanderers wins it, say we're there for Western United winning the league. I don't think you get that emotion. I don't. I genuinely don't. Like you look at bro. You look at we're walking in between and we're filming a few things. And my husband's like bawling her eyes out. That's enough to like It's not. It's genuinely. There's so many elements to it that even when Taylor, like you've had, and I think part of it is like we've had Taylor on the show, and she's a great friend of the podcast. But we got to a point like we got on the field, and she saw us, and she starts like, "Go on!" let's scream. And she just came in and hugged us, and I'm like,
You don't get that.
you don't get that, man.
You don't get it.
You don't get that. You get that like G up with the boys, but like there's just this. There's a part of the women's game that just tugs at your heartstrings. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, speaking for yourself, it's just emotion. You saw it yesterday. I saw you even when she scored. When Gomez scored, if you watch the video, you see Thomas getting up and screaming, and he's like he's screaming louder than some of the Mariners fans in the stands.
Relax. One of those fans run through, mate.
But seriously, there's a beauty about the women's game that if you're not into it, if you're not watching it, if you're not getting around it, if you're not coming to the games, you're never gonna understand it.
But I think you're also at a loss, to be honest, because there's a lot of stuff that even me before I started this podcast, I wasn't say I was never a fan, but I never paid attention to it. Once you learn, you pay attention, you actually study it, you grow, and you mature. I think as a football fan, you delve into different parts of football. I think there's actually a lot of stuff that football fans can learn from the women's game.
Yeah, I think as people, I think the biggest thing for the women's game for me is you fall in love and get to know the person for the player. Even with the Wanderers side, we've gotten to know a lot of these girls, throughout the season, and you start to see they're genuine people before they are great players. And Tay's probably the biggest example of that because she's such an amazing person. And it's shout out to her, even with Puxty as well. Like we joke around with Leah every time we go down, but all these girls are such great people. And for me, it's just it's heartwarming. It was. I'm gonna put it up there. It's a top 3 moment for me.
Wow.
Look, we also had forget all that. We had the pleasure of running the socials for the day for the Mariners. That's massive. That's a big trust they've put in us. Massive. And, we're going to say it every week, but that's a massive thanks to the people that watch us. Massive thanks to everyone that tunes in. That's seen our socials, that's liked, that's shared, that's massive trust to also every club, all the NPL clubs, your Unkley Floras, your St George's, your Sydney Uniteds, Olympics, all of these clubs, your Arpias as well, Marconi, that have trusted us and let us do what we do best at their grounds and at their clubs. And long story short, this isn't the end. This is barely the beginning. And UBF.
I love how you delve into that somehow at every stage of a podcast every week. So happy. So proud. This isn't the end.
No, but it's kind of like, put it this way, we never want people to think that UBF's always looking for the next kind of, challenge. We're always looking to take on something. We're always looking to break a barrier, smash through a glass ceiling, because you know what? And for us, we've always said this, we're forever grateful.
Oh, of course, you have to.
Because everyone starts with nothing. We started with nothing, and we started as 2 boys from Western Sydney that...
We look to put that on merch. I think we have a chat to Anthony. And on the back, 2 boys from Western Sydney.
And 1 guy with a Western Sydney FC jersey. Anyway,
3 guys from Western Sydney.
3 guys from Western Sydney. What? Put it this way. Before we move on to the Men's A-League, massive congratulations to the Central Coast Mariners. Well deserved. Big clap, round of applause. And
I'm just going to be emotional, guys.
Nah, man, it's.
Have your moment. 20 seconds on the clock.
It's a massive moment. There's a lot of elements to it. At the end of the day, like I said, the trust of the Mariners to let us do what we done. The trust of the girl, to gain the trust of the players.
Yeah,
that's the biggest one.
Yeah, listen, if you go in there with no ego, if you go in there thinking you're better than them, or you're just setting yourself up for problems.
Oh, 100%. And I think the biggest one that we're getting out of this is the friends we're making along the way, the people we're meeting, and
life is meant to be full of experiences.
Yeah. Hey, and I was ashamed we didn't get to try the slushies in the Ninja. In the in the Ninja box. They actually look good, I can't lie. Yeah, Ninja. No, I'm joking. Anyway, on to the men's side of stuff, Tom.
Fucking City.
I don't know.
Calling it now. It's over. It's done.
What?
Melbourne City are making the final, and they've got a chance. Abdul, please don't tell me fucking.
No, Botti hat trick. He's gonna go to Pens. Brother, they got to go to the fucking Iron Banks. You know how hard it is to go to the Iron Banks?
Have you been there personally?
No.
Can't say a word.
But if we're going to base it off Joe K's reel from today, it's a beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Abdul, did we see the goal from Colin?
Yes, we did.
Now, without getting cancelled, Abdul, there's many things that are beautiful in the world. If you understand what I'm trying to go with this, Abdul. That is up there with some of the most eye-appealing things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that gentleman agrees down there. That is an incredible goal. The technique that is required to hit it first time when it's fizzed at you at 60 kilometers per hour is incredible.
Yeah.
To redirect it into the top left-hand corner, outside the box, first time, is incredible. And City have 3 or 4 players like that, Abs. He did nothing in the first half. Nothing. I promise you, watch the game. 0. Inside of a donut. 0. But there's your moment. There's your moment. They get it. United don't have those players. And I think there'll be a force in the fight.
Look, you know, you look at the issues that West United came into the game with as well. Like, how much blame do you put on that? Because I think at the end of the day, Melbourne City, yes, they've been good. They genuinely have. But I've also seen a side of Melbourne City that I'm like, on your day, you can beat them.
Yeah, listen.
West United had just as many chances as they did. But
here you go. We're talking about what?
Great.
We're talking about the class.
It's clinical ability.
And moments win your games. Moments win your games, Abdul. Even this morning, we're playing the school I'm at versus another school. Killed them.
Yeah.
Moments. And that's it. Simple as that. And I think City have more players like that. And as a result, straight away, you just work on basic mathematics. They've got more chances for the people that can make the difference to make the difference. And then you're in trouble from minute one.
It's not done yet, but
3-0.
It's not done.
It's done.
It's not done.
It's done.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because you go to the Iron Banks and you've got...
Sound like the Iron Banks in the Fortress.
It is.
How many fans?
Doesn't matter.
Thanks.
5,000 seats, 5,000 fans. Whether you... Like, at the end of the day, it's not a big stadium, but if you can fill it out, go for it. I just think that if they turn up and Noel Botic is playing at his best, if they turn up and they can finish their chances and limit City's chances, there's every chance that game ends up in a 3-0 or a 5-2 or a 4-1.
They need to score first.
If there's a team in this league that can go end to end with you, it's West United.
Wanderers were as well. But
No, but with who's left, I'm not ruling them out just yet. I really am not. I think there's a more likely chance that...
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. There's a more likely chance that Western United come back into this tie than victory beating Auckland.
No, so
No, I don't. No.
love you, but no.
No. But let me explain why.
Sure, explain.
Auckland can shut the gates like that
For 90 minutes.
for 90 minutes.
Okay. In front of their home fans. Cool.
No, but it's the quality of the squad, quality of the team.
You seen Victory's bench?
The defensive side of... Dude, look at the defensive stats. Look at how many goals Auckland have conceded this year. Look at how many clean sheets they've got. I think there's a more likely chance of Western United, considering what we've seen this year. I'm not basing it out. I'm not pulling shit out of my ass here. From the games that we've seen them play this year and how they play, they're more likely chance to trouble Melbourne City, who we've seen crumble against teams like Wanderers, against teams like FC as well this season. I think it's not off the table. It's not impossible.
It's gonna tell you what. It's gonna be a challenge for Auckland. If you don't think that Victory will demand of themselves, the club, the fan base, the heritage, the ethos, the values, the morals, whatever you want to call it, mission statement, value, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't think Victory demanded of those players to turn up. Piscopo won't have a game like he had on the bench.
100%. But if you're down...
Azani will find it. Fornaroli, I'll be surprised if he doesn't start. I'll be surprised. They're going to find a way.
Tom, but you're down 3-0 and you only got one game left. What do you have to lose?
After you get down 1-0, you've only got one game.
Yeah, but what do you have to
lose?
No. But if you're down 3-0 and you're going into that game against Melbourne City, you know if I lose today, I'm gone. What do you have to lose? You go win, you go full throttle. And if Western United are to go full throttle, they're definitely going to trouble City. Because with all due respect to you guys, the way you played this season is just not so much a B-Tech, but like a much less clinical version of Western United. Western United can score 4, 5, 6 goals.
And we scored the most goals in the fucking league.
I'm talking in terms of style, in terms of directness, in terms of you guys are fucking, I'll hit you on the counter, but, you know, we don't know which way we're going to go. You know how Western United can hit.
Season's already done, brother.
Anyway, before we move on, fan engagement and attendance this week. It's a bit disappointing.
It's always been disappointing.
Bit disappointing. I think the figures, considering it was semi-final, were a bit. Dude, I went to that. Back to that game I went to. Wait, we'll wait till Thomas wakes up. Didn't you just have a coffee?
Karen Salah?
Rise and shine, love heart. Such sweetheart. Rise and shine, sweetheart.
I've been called a lover.
Let's call you love, but I was going to say
Oh,
sweetheart.
wow.
It's fine, mate.
Didn't think we're that close.
Talking about acquaintances.
It's the 19th month anniversary soon.
Acquaintances. Yeah. Anyway, fan engagement and attendance. I was at the Western Bulldogs game on Saturday. It was like typhoon weather. Like I'm talking, it was pissing down rain and wind was blowing. Rain was going like this.
Love that. Did you get wet?
Very wet. About 40 odd thousand people, I believe. That it might have been more. It might have been more. Let me just
Shit.
give me one second.
Where's that Marvel?
Yeah. Bulldogs versus Essendon attendance. Take a swipe. How much do you think? How many people were there?
55.
47,266 people. On a disgusting night. Tom, we could learn, like, I want to touch on this before we move on to Crystal Palace. We could learn so much from it. We could learn, like, I had to see it with my own eyes. Everyone talks about, AFL Victoria, football in Victoria. Oh. I love football, but it needs it so much. Tom, you got families.
No.
Bro, you know what they sell at the game? Manouche. I was shocked. They sold Manouche.
You get it?
I got Manouche. I got
How was
a
it,
cheese pocket, bro. Beautiful. And like even with, I like...
Chivapi?
No, Chivapi's unfortunate. But we'll get there eventually.
AFL.
But the culture, the engagement, the stadium, Marvel, when it closes as well, the lights coming down. I love football. I really, really do. And I think we need to take a page out of something. I don't know what it is. What would you do?
Drop my honest answer.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
You don't think you can?
I think we're too much here of elite sport. I think we're too much here of a bandwagon. And I think we hear these terms that people like to place on these football fans.
Mm.
At the end of the day, we've had many chances to turn this around. The only thing that I think would get them back is especially active support. I think that was our big draw card, a big differentiator from us, from the likes of rugby, cricket, AFL.
Yeah.
But once the police come in there and do a heavy-handed approach and ban anything that jumps or ban anything that sings or ban anything that uses any profanity, you're gone.
Yeah.
For me, that was the start of a very slippery slope, a downwards slippery slope. And I think we're in trouble. Because if you're getting 8,000 to... My apologies, sorry. If you're getting 8,000 to Tani plus the women's grand final this week, that's a bit disgusting.
Yeah. Look, Tom, I'll tell you this. I think when it comes to active support, it's amazing. It's great for our game. We need it. But I think the fact that
Careful.
No.
Very careful.
No. It's nothing to do with active sport. It just goes to show you how much as a league, as a sport in this country, we can't sell the sport. We can't.
That's what I'm saying to you.
And what's killing us is that when you think of the Wanderers, what's the first thing you think of the Wanderers game? Sydney, the Cove.
Not really. Yeah, but you're not making top six.
No, but seriously, like all jokes aside, with Sydney, you think of the Cove. With Melbourne victory the other night, it's in the news, bro. Okay, fair enough. You shouldn't have lit a flare under the train station.
There's been City in the train station.
But dude, like, why is it the news? Why is it like that? There was a guy who knocked out. I think there was a brawl in a Bulldogs Brisbane game like 6 weeks ago.
No comment.
But at the same time, Tom, like these active supports exist in those sports. The Bulldogs have the kennel. The Rabbitohs have the Burrow. You go look at the AFL games on either side behind the goal. They've got the flags and they've got it all, but it's not the forefront.
We've made it the forefront in football. And as a result, more eyes, more police presence, less people.
Yeah, and
There's your equation.
I could argue the other side. I could argue saying that the NRL and the AFL have washed it down. they haven't made it the main, front end picture, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's a much bigger issue at hand. I think we as a league at the moment, as a sport, sorry, I'm not going to say league because it's not so much a league anymore. As a sport, I think we've failed. We've genuinely failed the people. How do you have 2.5 million people playing football?
You got to give back now. You got.
And I think
You got to get it back.
let's wipe the slate clean. Go back, look at the ground roots, how you can build it from the ground roots. Because I'm sorry, if you can fill out 80,000 people at a Socceroos game or 80,000 people at a Matildas game, means there's people there.
Of course.
People want to watch it. You're just not selling it properly.
Well, what happens if in Australia we have the next Aussie superstar? Look at Izzy Gomez.
He'll spend 18 months in Australia and then go off to overseas. It's happened that many times. Milanovic, Iran Kunda.
You reckon Segacic goes? Sarsfield?
Yeah,
Who's got a better chance of leaving?
Sedicic.
Sega.
What shocked me before we move on to Crystal Palace, Kucharski, Max Burgess we knew was going.
Yeah.
Kucharski.
Game time apps starter. Can I tell you where he's going?
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
Newcastle Jets.
Nah. Or you're going to Eli's leaving.
Yeah.
Or Clayton.
Eli's got a bigger chance of leaving than Clayton.
You reckon?
Strike a harder position. I think they'll gamble with either go. I think he'll go overseas, but
Yeah.
maybe me personally.
Mariners could do with a striker.
Tell you who else will do with the strike reps? Mamush and Highland. Abdul. 134, 124. 134 years. We'll go, that sounds bigger, sounds more
Over 100 years.
like nice political correct answer for them.
Yeah.
Massive congratulations to the Eagles. Thank you, Jamie Vardy. 500 appearance, 200 goals. Well done. Seriously, just a massive congratulations.
Yeah.
I think they've absolutely, the way they dismantled the opposition, the way they dismantled Villa.
Yeah.
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
The way they dismantled them, play by play, off the ball run to off the ball run, they killed them from minute one.
It's a proper cup team. They went on a cup run and a half, and I'll give them credit for it. 3-0 against Fulham, I believe. Eberici Eze. I read the history of him, I believe. He didn't make it at Arsenal.
Supermarket worker.
Literally went through about 6 different academies. At least
they came back?
Yeah, at least they had left.
What a
he,
player.
stood up.
Oh, wow.
He stood up at the end of the day. And you know what? Credit to him. Credit to Palace. Early lead, managed to keep it. I think I was reading De Bruyne equalised in the 13th minute. No, that was the wrong game. There we go. Yes,
No,
there we go.
equalise?
They scored in the... No. Hold on. Eze scored early. It was the crossover and he tapped it into the back net.
Yes.
The game finished 1-0. Correct? And then there was a Henderson penalty.
Great save
Should have been a red.
on him.
Yeah.
No comment. No comment.
Let me just double check the save.
No comment.
I just want to see a photo of it.
I think Newcastle now, if I'm to pick that top four, based on that, I don't know if our City. Oh, I don't know. Let's not be silly. We'll go Livo, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Remember, 5th makes Champions League too.
Thank you. Liverpool,
Liverpool, Arsenal. Nottingham played Chelsea in the last week.
Chelsea win. Chelsea.
Yeah.
City,
Yeah.
who's sixth?
Chelsea.
Liverpool. There's six.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, City, Forest, Chelsea.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think the way they play, the brotherhood that they've got, Eze, Gahey, Mitchell, Henderson. These will start for most teams in the league.
Because that, I'm reading here now, it's secured their qualification for the 25-26 Europa League campaign.
I wish we get that.
And they play Community Shield against the Premier League Liverpool's champion. So let's take, bro, 84,000 people there. Did you hear Dean Henderson's chant as well? Oh,
We are 12.
No one
What is
gives
it?
a fuck because we won a cup or whatever he says. I don't know.
It's his interview with Pep Guardiola after. Bit of afters.
Mate, I didn't say that. No,
Bit of afters. That's a bit of a square off each other. Words exchanged.
should have been a red. Look, it honestly should have been a red. I remember Samina, Waka Waka, we finished 12th in the league. No.
We finished 12th in the league.
Hold on.
Who is it?
Oh,
If about me, Charlie Lala.
we got it. I'm putting out the lyrics. Here we go. 12th again, who gives a fuck? We won the FA Cup. There we
What
go.
a song, what a song.
Oh, fuck it. You know what? Credit to him as well, leaving United, doing what he's done. But I want to bring up a point. 84,163 people. I bet you any money that if there was a community shield game between Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, you'd still get 84,000 people.
Easily.
What is it? I will never understand.
England, final day, that's what I live for. Low edge crosses, tap ins at back post,
What do we
and you got to
live,
be English.
what do we live for here?
Football. To develop players. And to
But still, Tom, you go to the Netherlands. The Netherlands is the king of developing players and sending them to England. They'll still get 50,000 people at a stadium. They'll still get 60,000 people on the regular.
that's tribalism, that's different.
But what is it? We like to think we're tribal. We're not.
No.
Respectfully, it's the 300-400 people who sit in the active areas every game and rock up whether you're winning or losing that can say with chest that, we are tribal towards our team, and that's how it should be. But I don't know. It's disappointing. It's just disappointing.
What a long day.
You'll learn, guys, you'll understand Thomas is
Workaholic.
not so much your work ethic.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Aldo.
You have a great work ethic, but it's besides the point, mate. Thomas is the type to fall asleep at 9 o'clock every day.
Such a boring life. When do you get a bit, Aldo?
It varies.
It's past mine, so let's go.
No, we'll keep it going for a bit.
We're not.
We'll keep it going. You know
Keep it
what?
going, keep it going, keep it going,
No,
keep it.
just for the vibes, Thomas.
Oh,
we're
no,
gonna get a photo of you falling asleep, mate.
Go, take it for you.
Hold on.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
That's actually a nice photo.
Send it to me, Abdul. Thank you. Abdul, mate, any spoilers you want to leave our fans for next week? Besides, send it to me, Abdul. Besides the sleeping pills. Joking. We'll mute that one out, producer.
That's fine. Sleeping pills, all right.
Sleeping pills fine.
I don't think they're illegal. Are they
Disclaimer.
illegal?
No, they're illegal. You can get them over if you have problems sleeping.
Disclaimer.
That helps you get helps you just get to sleep. That's all it is.
Do you want to make a disclaimer? Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
We do not condone and we don't legally know any.
No. Disclaimer. Any information given, heard, or partaken
Perfect.
here on this podcast shall not be taken as any formal advice.
Legal advice,
Please
legal
advise
advice.
your medical professional, practitioner, and your doctor for any medical emergencies.
And don't quote us.
and or medical advice upon your medical needs. Thank you, and stay safe, kids. Thomas. Other than that, I think it's been a long season, man.
Long season, not done yet. Abdul got the MPL. We'll be there on Saturday, Abdul.
Yes, we'll be at St George City versus Rockdale City Suns or Rockdale Illendon, whatever you want to call them.
Massos.
We got the Massos versus St George area.
Great.
What else do we have this week? We're down at St George again. Where we've got a couple interesting meetings as well, Tom.
Yep. Sunday, getting some new fish.
Are you getting some new fish? What else? If you stay tuned for another 4 weeks or so, you'll see a couple the Malachi series drop as well.
I think we might want to send a reminder within the 4 weeks.
On top of that, we've got the
Gordon Sisters.
the Gordon Sisters video dropping, and
On top of that,
Tom and I are not so much flying.
sorry,
Thomas is boarding a plane again soon.
going to the Movina Salon.
The
Homeland.
Morvina. You may be,
Homeland.
you may be or may not be seeing some Croatian football content over there as well. I'll be in Mudgee as well.
Marine, estamos ao vecine.
Right. And I'll be in Mudgee for a little bit. This is what I'm doing in Mudgee.
Sleeping.
Probably not. I'll be out doing some at the local club at Mudgee.
Would you
as
like
well.
a visit every week or every night?
If you come, bring your beautiful face down and
Pick up.
you know, show us some tender loving care while I'm up there alone.
Emotional, tender, loving care.
Yes, please. You know, it's okay, guys. You know, you gotta.
Up the Ironbark. Salam. It's been an absolute pleasure for myself, mate.
Right. I feel like I'm gonna say goodbye and good night at the same time because I'm worried you might fall asleep.
I'm going to fall asleep. I'm sleeping now. Mr. Grenady, you'll find me here in the morning.
Oh, but no. Other than that, I'll tell you this. It's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure, Salam. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Mate, next week, drink a Red Bull or a coffee before we get here. All three.
2, 1, 2.
Anyway, on that note,
Abdul, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Signing out. It's been Thomas.
I've been Abs.
Ciao.
Lullaby, baby, Tom's got to sleep. When you wake up, you might win the 2018 World Cup final. Losing to France, knocked out in the semis. Hopefully will be enough to get you to sleep. Luka Modric, Josko Gvardiol, Luka Susic, and Mateo Kovacic.